You won't believe why my best friend let me steal his wife. I never imagined I'd be the guy people whisper about. He stole his best friend's wife. Even now, after more than 3 years, I still can't fully grasp how it all unfolded. There was no scheme, no calculated moves, no spark hinting at the chaos to come. It crept in slowly, quietly, almost invisibly, like corrosion eating away at steel until it buckles under its own weight. My friend was named Ethan. We met as freshmen at university. He was the kind of person you couldn't ignore, loud, confident, magnetic. Being around him was a rush, and with him I felt alive. We became like brothers fast, cramming for exams, drinking until dawn, and navigating the first sharp stings of adulthood when life shows you it doesn't owe you fairness. He introduced me to his future wife, Lily, a year before their wedding. I remember that day vividly. We were at a pub and Ethan brought her over, petite, delicate, with hazel eyes that held a quiet sorrow. She didn't smile often, but when she did, the world seemed to pause. Back then, I didn't think I'd ever see her as anything more. To me, she was just his girlfriend, his love, his other half. They got married 2 years later. I was the best man. I stood by his side at the altar, holding the rings, chuckling when he got nervous, and raising the first toast to their happiness. Watching them, I felt nothing but pure, genuine joy. Life moved on. We all grew up, jobs, mortgages, routines. I rented an apartment across the street, and we'd often hang out at their place in the evenings, sipping wine, watching movies, reminiscing about our college antics. Lily always made something special. She loved creating warmth, candles, the scent of fresh coffee, old vinyl records. There was something nurturing about her, steady and comforting. I remember her saying once, "You and Ethan are like brothers. Sometimes I think he'd be a different person without you." I smiled, thinking it was just flattery. Now I see it was a premonition. The shift started subtly. Ethan landed a new job, lots of travel, high stress, little sleep. He changed, growing irritable, distant. We saw each other less. Lily started confiding that he'd become cold. "He's always on his phone," she told me one evening, pouring tea. "I don't recognize him anymore. It's like everything we built is slipping away." I listened, nodded, tried to offer words, but they felt hollow. She spoke softly, not accusing, just tired. And then she cried. I shouldn't have gone to her. I shouldn't have hugged her. But I did. That's when everything began to crumble. After that night, we both acted like nothing happened. She didn't text me. It wasn't until a week later, when I ran into her at the grocery store, that she whispered, "Please don't tell anyone. Ethan can't know." I nodded. But inside, I was a mess, guilt, fear, and something I didn't want to admit, longing. I didn't know how to stop thinking about her. Seeing them together choked me. When Ethan talked about how much he loved her, I felt like a monster. I tried to pull away, but Lily kept finding reasons to reach out. "Are you home tonight? Can I just come over and sit? It feels safe with you." One night she showed up. She said he was away on another trip. She sat on my couch, barefoot, wearing his sweater. We crossed the line again, this time knowingly. After that, she stopped fighting it. And I stopped pretending. We carried on in secret for nearly 6 months. I lived in constant dread of being found out. Every call from Ethan was a jolt. Every glance she gave him was a blade in my chest. Then one day he called. "We need to talk, come over alone." I drove to his place, hands shaking, bracing for shouting, maybe a fight. But none of that happened. He greeted me calmly, sat across from me, poured me coffee, and said, "I know." 2 words, no anger, no accusations, just "I know." "You think I didn't notice?" he continued. "I saw it from the start." I tried to speak, to explain, but he raised a hand. I'm not mad, honestly. I just realized a while ago that I can't give her what she needs, but you can." I sat there stunned. He spoke so calmly, almost wearily. "She loves you," he said, "and maybe that's for the best." He stood, opened a window, lit a cigarette, and added, Take care of her, okay? I left dazed, unable to process it. My hands trembled. I couldn't believe he just let go. Only later did I learn why. Why he didn't yell, didn't fight, didn't hate. Why he let me take what mattered most to him. After that talk with Ethan, I drove away in a fog. I got behind the wheel, not even sure where I was going. My head was buzzing. He said, I know, and just let go, no scene, no rage. Like it didn't matter. That indifference was the scariest part. I remember driving down an empty highway at night, hands shaking on the wheel, one thought pounding in my chest. Why was he so calm? Any normal person would have at least shouted. Not him. I didn't sleep for 2 days. Lily texted, called, but I didn't answer. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know who we were anymore. Lovers, traitors, thieves. I felt like our secret wasn't just a secret anymore. It was something dead. Like we'd crossed a line with no way back. On the third day, he called again. Come over, he said. I want to show you something. I went, not sure if I wanted to or not. I just couldn't not go. He met me at his place. He looked pale, thinner, his eyes deeper than before. On the table were 2 glasses and a bottle of whiskey. Drink if you want, he said. I just can't talk about this sober. We sat. Silence, the clock ticked. Then he said, I'm dying. I thought it was a joke. I mumbled something like, what are you talking about? But he wasn't smiling. Cancer, he said, late stage, spread to my lungs. I went numb, stared at the table as his words sank in. When I managed. Diagnosed 6 months ago, those business trips, they were hospital visits. I looked at him like he was a ghost. I tried to recall signs, clues. He'd been coughing a lot, tired, taking pills. I'd thought it was stress, insomnia. Why didn't you tell me? I asked. He shrugged. What would it change? Lily would have panicked. You would have pitied me. I didn't want pity. I just wanted things to seem normal for as long as I could. Then it hit me, he didn't just know about us. He knew he was running out of time. He let her go not because he stopped loving her, but because he loved her too much. I saw how you two looked at each other, he said quietly. At first I was angry, then I just realized it might be right, that after I'm gone she'll have someone I trust. My throat went dry. Are you serious? I whispered. You knew and just decided to hand her over. He gave a half smile. Hand her over, funny way to put it, isn't it? You don't give people away. Sometimes you just have to step back so they don't fall with you. I couldn't take it. I stood pacing the room. You're making us sound like some kind of charity case. No, he said calmly. I made a choice between dying and leaving her alone or dying knowing someone will keep her from breaking. He looked at me, no pity, no drama, just stating a fact. And in that moment, everything inside me collapsed. All I'd felt, love, passion, jealousy, was nothing compared to this awful truth. I wasn't a hero, not a lover. I was a piece in someone else's plan to save her. You have to tell her, I said. No, he replied. Let her think I just grew distant. It's easier to let go that way. You don't get to decide that, I shouted. She deserves to know who you really are, what you. He cut me off with a look. Are you ready to watch her die with me? Those words hit like a bullet. He spoke about death so calmly, almost philosophically. I couldn't. To me, it was still unreal. That night, I left without saying goodbye. Lily texted. I didn't reply. For weeks, I walked around in a haze. Worked mechanically, ate, slept, felt nothing. I didn't know what to do. Telling her the truth would betray his last wish. Keeping quiet meant lying to the woman I loved. Every day, I'd open my phone, type her number, then delete it. Again and again. A month later, he called me back. Said, I want you there. He looked worse, gaunt, pale, hair thinning. He didn't talk about the illness, just lived. Laughed, told stories, acted like nothing was wrong. Only his eyes gave him away. Once, when Lily stepped into the kitchen, he whispered, I'll tell her soon, I just don't want her to feel guilty. Not for me, not for you. I didn't know what to say. Just nodded. A week later, she came to me. Eyes red, voice trembling. He told me everything. I froze. He said he has cancer, that he knew about us, that he even wanted us to be together. She broke down, tears spilling like they'd been held back too long. Do you know how awful this is? She sobbed. How can I love him and be with you at the same time? How can I look him in the eyes? I hugged her, not knowing if I had the right. She shook with sobs, and I felt guilt, pain, and tenderness all at once. He doesn't want you to suffer, I said. And you, she asked through tears, what do you want? I didn't answer. Ethan lived another 4 months. The last 2 were in the hospital. I visited almost daily, sometimes with Lily, sometimes alone. He'd joke, tell silly stories, pretend he had it all under control. One day, when we were alone, he said, "It's not dying that scares me, it's being forgotten." I gripped his hand. "We won't forget, ever." He smiled. "You won't, she's your responsibility now." He passed in mid-May. A bright, sunny day, strangely vivid. I was there, holding his hand as it went cold. Lily didn't make it in time, stuck in traffic. When she arrived, it was too late. She just stood there, staring, whispering, "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" The funeral was quiet, just family, a few friends, us. She stood beside me, but I felt a wall between us. He was gone, and with him, the thread that tied us 3 together. After the funeral, she didn't speak to me for 2 weeks. Then she came over, sat on my couch, where it all began. Silent for a long time, then said, "I don't know how to live now." "What do you mean?" "Everything I did, everything I felt, it feels dirty now. Even love, he made us part of his death." I didn't know what to say. Words would have sounded fake. She looked at me and added, "I'm not sure I can be with you, not now, maybe never." 6 months passed. We barely talked. I'd see her sometimes in the park, at the market, on the street. She'd lost weight, looked pale, her eyes carrying something lost. I tried to move on, work, date, live, but it all felt pointless. Every night I'd wonder, what would he say? Sometimes I swore I heard his voice. "Take care of her, okay?" One day near winter, she showed up unannounced. Walked in, took off her coat, sat across from me. "I don't know what we are to each other now," she said, "but I'm tired of hiding from his ghost." I looked at her, and for the first time in ages, I felt not guilt or pain, but quiet gratitude. We sat in silence for a long time. Then she took my hand. No words, just that. 2 years later, we're living together. Not married, not planning anything big. Just living. Sometimes when I wake up at night and look at her, I think of Ethan. How life is so strange. How love can be both a crime and a salvation. I still feel guilt, I probably always will. But there's gratitude in it too. Because everything I have now is part of his choice, his final gift. Sometimes I scroll through old forums online. Read strangers, stories of betrayal, love, loss. And I think, if someone wrote mine, no one would believe it. Too implausible. Too human.